If one party is allowed to unilaterally terminate the contract according to the terms, does the terminating party still need to bear the responsibility for termination?
I want to talk about an interesting case involving a Chinese shipping company. They were given the exclusive rights to sell milk product from Australian company within China. The agreement was signed back in 2013, even before I became their legal advisor. But here's a catch. There was a provision in the contract that wasn't very smart. It told that either party could terminate the contract by giving just 1 month's notice. Fast forward 4 years, McLean has invested a lot of time and money into marketing and sales efforts. Their product has started gaining recognition in the market, and they were on the verge of making some profit. But then, in May 2017, the Australian company's legal representative sent McLean an email suggesting terminate the exclusive agency contract. The deal was that McLean could still sell the Australian milk, but a big chunk of their hard work and investments would be taken away unfairly. For over a year, both parties have been trying to negotiate and find a solution. But sadly, no agreement was reached. In the winter of 2018, I had the chance to meet the owner of the Chinese company for the first time. He was a really straightforward and enthusiastic young man. I remember he came to my office wearing a thin cotton jacket. He seemed a bit down as he took out his laptop and said to me, "I don't know what else to do. They just kicked us out and started working with the distribution channels we had worked so hard to establish." I tried to comfort him and telling him that there might still be something we could do. A month later, we took the Australian company to court, seeking compensation for the losses McLean had suffered due to the contract termination. Let's not get too caught up in the technical details of the lawsuit. I just want to share a quote from the judge's ruling that perfectly sums up the heart of this case.
According to the provisions outlined in the sales contract between the involved parties, either party has the right to terminate the business cooperation by providing written notice at least 1 month in advance. This provision reflects the mutual intention of both parties, established at the time of contract formation, to end their cooperative relationship through notice. It is important to emphasize that this provision falls within the scope of contractual freedom and does not contravene any mandatory legal or administrative regulations. However, according to Article 97 of the Contract Law of the People's Republic of China, it is essential for the Australian company to exercise this right, in accordance with the principle of good faith, ensuring proper handling of subsequent matters related to the distribution between the parties after the contract termination, based on the evidence in the case, taking into account factors such as the timing of the termination of the contract, the value of the orders placed during the cooperation period between the two parties, the expected profits if the contract could continue normally, the rebate income that could be enjoyed based on the contract, the necessary costs incurred by the Chinese company for performance, and the expenses saved, and benefits enjoyed by the Australian company in entering the Chinese market due to the previous investment by the Chinese company. The Australian company is determined to compensate the Chinese company for the loss caused by the early termination of the contract, in the amount of 2,413,750 for 0.32 yuan.
To put it simple, the judge ruled that if there are no legal restrictions, a clause in a contract that allows termination based on the parties' genuine intentions is valid. This respects the freedom of the parties to establish their own rights according to their needs and the demands of the international business. However, the judge also emphasized the importance of being reasonable and not arbitrarily terminating contracts to maintain stability in contract performance.